Welcome to Coin Universe, your go-to hub for the latest news, insider views, and overall opinions from the crypto cosmos. I'm Trinity, and I'm thrilled to dive into the latest updates with you in this video. Today is January 23, 2024, and we are moving on to our first topic. FTX sells $1 billion of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF and eases selling pressure. Bitcoin's price has fallen since Bitcoin ETFs were approved. In theory, now that FTX is done selling its substantial holdings, the selling pressure could ease since a bankruptcy estate liquidating holdings is a relatively unique event. Investors have sold more than $2 billion worth of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust since it was converted into an exchange-traded fund earlier this month. A large chunk of that exodus was FTX's bankruptcy estate dumping 22 million shares, according to private data CoinDesk reviewed and two people familiar with the matter. A slew of spot Bitcoin ETFs began trading on January 11 after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission finally approved them following years of delays. But the Grayscale fund had already existed for a decade, structured as a less attractive closed-end fund, and had accumulated close to $30 billion of assets when the SEC approved its conversion to an ETF, along with blessing 10 newly created Bitcoin ETFs. While the new funds, issued by the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity, have seen inflows, billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin have been pulled out of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The data CoinDesk saw suggests FTX accounted for much of that. The 22 million shares it sold, which took FTX's Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ownership down to zero, were worth close to $1 billion. Bitcoin's price has tumbled since the ETFs were approved, a stark juxtaposition against the high hopes people had before the SEC announced its decision. Bitcoin ETFs have been touted as a much easier way for normal people to invest in Bitcoin, triggering wildly optimistic forecasts for Bitcoin's price. Instead, Bitcoin has fallen. In theory, now that FTX is done selling its substantial holdings, the selling pressure could ease since a bankruptcy estate liquidating holdings is a relatively unique event. Like many large crypto trading entities, FTX capitalized on the disparity between the price of Grayscale Trust shares and the net asset value of the underlying Bitcoin in the fund. FTX held 22.3 million Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares, valued at $597 million as of October 25, 2023, according to a filing from November 3, 2023. The value of FTX's Grayscale Bitcoin Trust holding rose to around $900 million, based on the first day of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF trading on NYSE Arca on January 11th, when it closed the trading session at $40.69. FTX held shares in 5 Grayscale trusts as well as almost 3 million shares in a statutory trust managed by ETF provider Bitwise in a brokerage account at EDNF Man Capital Markets, which is now known as Marex Capital Markets Incorporated, according to filings. Marex declined to comment. Galaxy Digital, a crypto trading specialist assisting in the sale of assets held by the FTX bankruptcy estate, also declined to comment. On Monday, Alameda Research, a trading firm tied to FTX, voluntarily dismissed a lawsuit alleging Grayscale charged excessive fees. The next and following article stated that Mt. Gox confirms creditors' Bitcoin addresses for repayment. The Mt. Gox trustee is gearing up for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash repayments on Bitstamp and Kraken accounts, following the launch of bank repayments in December 2023. As part of the process, the trustee has reached out to creditors, confirming their identity and the existence of their accounts for the upcoming repayments. Mt. Gox creditors have reported receiving emails regarding the completion of identity verification for their crypto exchange accounts, designated for the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash repayments. One such email, shared on Mt. Gox's Insolvency Hub on Reddit on January 22, indicates that a crypto exchange mentioned in the user's rehabilitation claim has verified account ownership with the trustee. The email notes that the exchange is now ready to accept the user's subscription to the agency receipt for receiving repayment in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. It's important to note that accounts disabled or frozen in the future may not be eligible to receive repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, as stated in a rough translation of the email. Several Reddit posters have confirmed receiving similar emails, with most confirmations originating from the Bitstamp exchange. Some Kraken users have also reported receiving confirmation emails, while others have yet to receive them. In the midst of these developments, exchanges participating in the repayments, such as Bitstamp, have assured their users that they will continue servicing Mt. Gox-related customers in specific countries, even after withdrawing operations from certain jurisdictions. For instance, Bitstamp, which ceased operations in Canada on January 4, 2024, will maintain services for local accounts involved in the Mt. Gox settlement. However, these accounts will be limited to withdrawal functions, with other services like deposits and trading no longer available. The recent Mt. Gox emails coincide with the trustees' progress in bank account repayments. Reports of the first Mt. Gox repayments emerged in late December 2023, with some creditors receiving double payments. Founded in 2010, Mt. Gox was once the largest Bitcoin exchange globally, facilitating around 70% of all Bitcoin transactions before its collapse. In 2014, the exchange suffered a security breach, losing 850,000 Bitcoin and subsequently filing for one of the largest crypto bankruptcies. Mt. Gox is expected to repay its creditors 142,000 Bitcoin and 143,000 Bitcoin Cash, along with 69 billion Japanese yen, approximate $510 million by October 2024. In summary, FTX's sale and Mt. Gox's repayment efforts represent significant events in the cryptocurrency landscape. FTX's sale is seen as a unique event impacting Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, while the Mt. Gox trustees' progress in repayments is part of the ongoing resolution process for creditors affected by the exchange's collapse in 2014. This was it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. Last but not least, don't trust, just verify, and strong hands everybody. Disclaimer: despite the careful and professional assembly of this content, none of our videos constitute financial advice. The content provided by Coin Universe is purely intended for informational and educational purposes. Until the next update.